Hi, we're Mason.
And you're watching Loop TV.
Loop TV.
The way I started out was always in like a rock band. So I had my like first band when I was 12 or something, still in like primary school. I wasn't really into house music, but my dad, he's a music teacher, so he always used to bring those. He's also a keyboard player. He always used to bring synths to our house during the holidays. So I kind of was immediately obsessed since I was like 6 years old by the kind of knobs and the kind of sounds that made. But I didn't really know how to make music, or didn't really think there would be a cool way to make music with that. And I actually remember him bringing home a cassette tape when I was 11 and it said house, and it was this kind of acid house music, and I actually thought it was a very scary kind of music.
I think we both had a different route, let's say, to where we are. I started out as a DJ about 16, 17 years ago. I used to play hip hop, and then soon after I moved to house. So I was always DJing, and at some point we met up because we both studied music technology for 4 years in a university in Holland. And over there everything was more about all other kinds of music and technology and composing, and we were kind of the few that did house music, so we kind of connected on that level and just started producing. That's 10 years ago, and yeah, we working on ever since.
Yeah, for us the reason to take it live was obviously like I'm not a DJ, so for me it's a way to perform as well, and we always think. I mean, he loves DJing, but for me it's particularly more interesting to like give a show where you just play your own music, because we're like we see ourselves not only as DJs but also as like artists. So it's more kind of a band kind of idea.
Yeah.
Playing your own material for like an hour is really important, I think.
Suits our music also, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also a really fun thing to do, you know? Like very important.
We decided to, because there are so many live acts that are just like sort of a laptop and a controller, we decided to do it differently. So we hooked up with a team of technicians, and we created a package of software and hardware for ourselves to where with Ableton, with all the clips of audio we work, there's club lighting and video attached to it. So whatever we play, lights and video will be synchronized accordingly. And it's completely flexible, so we can do whatever we want. We take a hi-hat from one record, the strobes will go up, and we can just jam around with it, and it makes it very interesting for us. And we bring a bunch of instruments along.
Our live setup is basically, of course, we have Ableton with the whole system running. So it's like our computer. It's talking to the tech, the light and video guys' computer through UTP. So it's just an internet cable, and we're on the same network. The two computers, they communicate with a special plugin in Ableton, or actually Max for Live. And then we got also a bunch of outboard gear. He plays violin. I've got like electronic wind instruments. It's like the Akai Ewi. Chaos Pad is one of our favorites. Like really good, creative, intuitive stuff. And then we got a Nord modeler, which is great as well, because it's like you can build exactly what you want. You can process external audio. You can send MIDI in, you can tweak away, you can use it to control other stuff. So
yeah, half a dozen controllers, all kinds of pads and trigger things and knobs. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The album There Among Us, it's actually quite funny how we got in touch with all these artists, and we were actually feel very privileged to be able to do that, like working with DMC from Run DMC, Roisin Murphy from Monaco, Kurtis Blow, Aqualung, and it's just very different how every track came about actually. It's like
Yeah, it was also because before we were always doing very dance floor oriented records, so we had a DJ following and our records were played a lot in clubs, but because we're both big collectors of pop music and also past a lot, for us was a real challenge to try to make sort of an album that has a big overlap with pop and songs without being sort of the cheesy top line over a sort of club track type of thing. So we just started out making a wish list of artists we'd love to work with and just start sending our sketches around. And the cool thing is if people like it, it's easy to somehow set up a studio meeting.
Exactly, and it worked in all kinds of different ways. And sometimes we came up with the top line and we kind of dictated someone how to record it, and other ways was the artist's idea to bring a top line on our song. Sometimes we even started with, for instance, with Aqualung. He just came up with a melody and we kind of built a track around that. So it's like all kinds of different ways. Sometimes the artists, they came to our studio. Sometimes we went to London to record Roisin, for instance. And so it's like, and I think it's also great that it's like there's not one way to do collaboration, and it's always very fresh and it keeps you like tickled and excited.
Yeah, we usually we always work together in the studio, but we have different setups, and the way we work is very around sketches. So we make lots and lots of sketches, which can just be few bar loops or just like small melody ideas. And we think the key of a good track is the actual basic idea of it. Sometimes you hear a lot of tracks that just like feels like it's just like a beats building up and it sounds good, but if the idea isn't good, then the whole track falls apart. So we just make a lot of sketches and a lot of ideas, and then after maybe 30 or 40 sketches, we pick the right one we think is the best one, and we work it out together in the studio.